bring this regular city council meeting to order. Today is Thursday, July 24th, 2025, and it is 5:30 p.m. We're going to have Councilman Arona do our invocation and Councilman Saldana to do our pledge of allegiance.
Our Heavenly Father, we come before you, asking for your grace, your strength, and grant us knowledge and wisdom to do what is right for the city of Pecos and our citizens. We ask that you grant us the understanding of having differences, but coming to a common goal and a common agreement to do what is needed for our town. This was in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For the record, let's acknowledge that Councilman Saldana, Councilman Carrasco, Councilman Graham, and Councilman Arona are present. At this time, we will ask for public comments. I will remind you that please limit your time to 30 minutes. No, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
You don't want to be here. Change your clothes.
3 minutes. If you come to the podium, please state your name. And just remind you that we cannot respond to your comments, but we will take them under advisement and they may be on a future agenda item. But at this time, are there any public comments? Okay.
Thank you. My name is Maria Olga Flores, Pecos, Texas, born and raised. I'm still here. And once more, it's the concern about the loud noise at our local place here, Trailways. I've lived here since 1974. We never had a problem. Of course, there used to be a bar there. But when this place opened, we had no problem with it. But as of the remodeling they did, like in 2023, right after COVID, that's when the noise aggravation started. And at first, we were all right with it. We were just pleased that, we could make noise outside, after COVID, everybody was coming out and, man, it was wonderful. But after a while, it's like it wears on you, that noise. And they were good. They were so good. They lowered the volume on the vocals, on the guitars, on the instruments, except the bass guitar. That just boom, 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 just incessantly, And anyway, I have a history with this, with Chief Tarango, with Mr. Leno, with his assistant, and everybody's been so helpful. They have, but it's like we're stating over and over. They tell me, it's 85 decibels. They're allowed. They're authorized. So we're here to try to change that. And last time, I think it's pending or it was tabled about the change to the 85 down to 80, and then 70. Anyway, so I'm here to ask that you please, and can we just do what Ardo Rona suggested? Can we just have one level, like I would say 70 decibels for all day long, all night long, even up to 2 o'clock or whatever? And that way, we don't have to be calling the police can you please tell them to come lower it down? And like Chief Tarango says, they'll have a meter out there to make sure that it's within what the volume that they're allowed. But who's going to be out there checking the volume? I mean, the meter, yeah, if it's going to be posted outside, that's great. But if it's way up for one song and it's, booming our walls, so we call the police to go out there. By the time they go up there, maybe they've lowered it already, and it's going to be up and down, and it's not going to change, So if we just have one level, 70 decibels or 65, whatever, then it's flat. It's a flat rate. They can't, up it. And I think that would be we wouldn't have to be calling the police. Can you please go check? Yes, ma'am, we checked. They're within their rights. And then they up it again, So it's a crazy game. You can't, it's very stressful, to say the least, The words home invasion, intrusion, bullying come to mind. You know what? We're a residential area. We don't mind them being there. They have a right to have a business, to make a profit, but we also have a right for a good night's rest, 7 days a week, not just 5 or 6, but 7. I mean, you all value your sleep, I'm sure. We all do. You know, a good night's rest, nothing like it. But intrusions, no. You know what? Right now, we can have our ACs up. We can try to muffle that sound. But week before last, my dog died. She was having her puppies, and we never heard her. She was outside. I don't know if she cried. I don't know if she whimpered. She was breached. It was breached. So she passed away with all her puppies. And I'm wondering, because my bedroom is towards the back of the house, and I like to sleep with the window open, and I could have heard her if she was right there. But with the noise, I have to shut all the windows. I have to turn on the ceiling fans, the air conditioners, everything to try to muffle. And, you know, if I'd had the window open, maybe I could have heard her. You know, I don't know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But anyway, this is just part of my request to you, y'all, elders, town fathers, please consider us. Thank you.
I'm sorry for the loss of your dog.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Family members.
Are there any other public comments?
I have a public comment. This time I'd like to recognize the 2025 Pecos Bills. They're in second place. Pecos, Texas was a place that they dreamed to make these top elite athletes come to Pecos. They set a couple of records this year. Their fan base has grown, but not as much as we expected. I go out to the Cyclone a lot, and you know they're doing everything they can. And I challenge the community to go out there and support them some more. You know, we want to bring all these new things to Pecos, but yet we have our own Pecos Bills, and you can probably know what I'm talking about. Every time you go out there, it's just they don't have much of a big fan base, and they've already had 2 of their players already move up. You know, they're doing a good job. They move it up to higher leagues. You know, these are a group of young men that are wanting to make Pecos home and attract people from all over the world, but us as a community, and I challenge everyone here in Pecos to go see them and give them more support. And it can be very discouraging when there's only 2 to 3 people in the stands and the rest are out doing other things. So I like to congratulate the Pecos Bills for what they've been doing for our community. They're playing a really good season, and keep up the good work.
Any other public comments? Okay, we will close public comments, and for the record, show that Councilwoman Trujillo arrived at 5:36. We'll go on to our consent agenda, approve the minutes of the July 10th, 2025 regular city council meeting, review the expenditure report, and review the June 2025 PD, ACO, and ESD report.
I have a question, I guess, on page 16, on the boots that we ordered. Who's taking care of those once they get here? Is it the hot tax committee or the Keep Pecos Beautiful? Or
It'll probably be, well, Edward's gonna maintain the programming.
Okay.
So he's responsible for whatever is gonna be programmed on the sign that way. It'll be remote, and I don't wanna speak, but Holly, probably some of your staff are gonna do the maintenance around it whenever we go there.
Yes, sir, we're going to coordinate the electrical installation as well as some water installation to create a beautification around that corner, as well as some bollards to protect it from possible collision.
Any other questions? No. Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. We'll go to our non-consent agenda. Item F1, presentation of a monetary donation in the amount of $20,000 by Chevron to be split equally between the Keep Pecos Beautiful Committee and the Pecos Youth Advisory Commission. This is under Strategic Goal 6, Sound Governance and Financial Management. Jonathan Hirschman, Public and Government Affairs Advisor for Chevron.
Thank you. Can I say a few words? Is that all right? All right. Thank you, Mayor and Council, and it's good to be here. Yeah, I'm Jonathan Harshman, Public and Government Affairs Advisor for Chevron, and I cover the West Texas area for our company. And although I live in Midland, I feel like Pecos is like a second home almost to me. Everyone here has been so welcoming, so I just want to thank y'all for that. And thank you for Pecos being a good partner to Chevron. You provide a good welcoming, supportive business environment for all businesses, but especially the energy industry, and we really appreciate that. And so we want to be a good partner for this community as well. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Bobby Salcido, my colleague here who manages our Pecos office, is here with me. And so yeah, we have a sizable presence here. We have hundreds of employees in Reeves County who operate hundreds of wells on thousands of acres, and we have an office here in Pecos. And a lot of our people, like Bobby, live here. So we're just happy to give back, contribute to this community. And so like you mentioned, we would like to give $10,000 to each of the Keep Pecos Beautiful Committee and the Pecos Youth Advisory Commission. We really have the utmost respect and appreciation for their work to make this an even better place for our people and for the whole community. So just happy to do this. Yeah, thanks.
We actually had the president of the youth advisory.
Oh, great. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Carly Ramirez.
Carly? Okay, great.
And Miss Juanita Duff.
Oh, hey. Hey, Juanita. I have heard about you for sure, but I hadn't met you yet.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Great. Thank you all for coming. So,
Would y'all like to go up front and we'll get a... Oh, you want to get them over here? Okay, we'll take a picture down this way.
okay. Right here. We're using your 30-minute rule.
That's what they had it down for you guys today.
Yeah, you're
Okay, we're going to go on to item F2, discuss, consider ordinance 25-07-01, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the Town of Pecos City, Texas Combination Tax and Revenue Certificates of Obligation, Series 2025, approving the terms of paying agent registrar agreement and an escrow agreement, and approving all other matters related to the issuance of certificates of obligation. Goal 6, sound governance and fiscal management. Charles Leno, City Manager.
Mayor and Council, Charles Leno, City Manager. This pertains to our water system, and we're following the USDA guidelines that we have to go through. We do have on the line our bond counsel as well as our financial advisor that do want to screen share some of their stuff with us. And I will turn it over to them. Can you all hear us?
Yes, can you all hear us?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, Council, Mayor. Dan, you want to go or you want to lead it off? Go ahead, Tom. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Please let me know if you can see this. I'm not pulled up. You don't see this here?
Yes, sir.
So again, we're just going to cover the final numbers, updating you all from the last meeting on the combination tax and revenue certificates of obligation, Series 2025, done with the USDA. Just to revisit this, what the project fund dollars will be used for: improvements to the water utility system, including transmission lines and wells. The par amount on the issue as well as the project fund will be $24.75 million, or $24,750,000. This is an update with the final numbers here in this column for this USDA loan. So you can see the repayment term of the loan is 39 years, including in 2064. Again, the par amount is $24,750,000 with an interest rate of 1.375% through the life of the loan. So certainly in this market, a very competitive interest rate. And you can see here in this column here, we're projecting that this USDA loan will be supported with revenues from the water and sewer utility system. So no impact to the tax rate. Any questions on the numbers here?
Our schedule, I can't see that one, but it just, in our schedule, it has principal installment. So does that include the interest in there, or is it just principal only?
Yeah, the order just lists the principal installments by year. We did have an adjustment this morning after some conversation. Thomas and the team, their financial advisor team, we had a call with the USDA and wanted to change, but the principal installment change stays the same, but it is on what you're probably seeing, I believe, is the ordinance, and it just shows the principal installment. It does show the rate, which is 1.375, as you mentioned. That's payable each March and September 1, 2025. So that's what's reflected in the updated ordinance that we sent a little while earlier today.
Okay, but somewhere in the ordinance, it showed the amount of interest we're paying.
I can tell you the amount of interest on the $24,750,000 loan is about $7.4 million over 39 years. So the average payment for the city will be about $825,000, call it.
I just want to add, you're right, that the total interest is not reflected in the ordinance itself. It just shows the principal amount and then what day we pay the interest. But that is the calculation that we will be going back by an annual basis to Thomas.
So the ordinance was changed to reflect that it starts in 25.
Yes, sir. That's what the change they asked for this morning. And so the first interest payment is going to be due September 1, 2025. And then every March and September thereafter through the life of the loan, as he has.
This is typical of the way that we are servicing all of our debt, where we're making a single annual principal payment and semi-annual interest. Both Mr. Martinez and Robert Tina were on the phone with USDA this morning, and they followed exactly what they did last time, but USDA, who holds the purse right now, changed the rules a little bit. So they called me this morning to talk to me and ask if it was prohibitive for us to pay 21 days of interest in September of this year, and I said no, we're good with that. So
I like this schedule better than that.
Well, I will say that rate is phenomenal. Yeah, so we're not gonna, I don't know what Thomas the revenue bonds are going for these days right now, but probably these 5 is what I imagine.
Significantly higher than this, I can tell you, sure.
Yeah.
I don't think
No. Not unless it goes to zero again, Randy. But the thing that I like about these is there's no prepayment penalty. So if everything comes to fruition and we want to pay it off early, we don't have any penalty. We just save the interest, so.
Yes, we wish every deal we did could get this rate and this term.
At least for us anyway.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I will add that the USDA it's a hill for a climber, and they make you work for it, but hats off to Ms. Trevino and Heather. I know they've been working really hard to get them everything they need, and it's a lot, and engineering and all that good stuff. And so, again, I say that, trying to be funny here, but 1.375 is a great rate, but it's a lift to get there, with the USDA, because you guys are here, so, this is the next step in the process. We had that notice authorized a couple months ago, and we're here, and we've had a good conversation with them today as well, so, that's what we're here for you today.
And we're still scheduled to close on August 22nd.
Yes. Right,
Yes.
21st.
21st, yep. This is a look here at the timeline for the transaction. So the second to last line item there is obviously the day of our meeting to discuss the final pricing numbers and the approval of the sale. And then Thursday, August 21st is when we'll look to close the financing. And then just a reminder of the working group here for the transaction. And that's all I have. Again, short and sweet, not terribly complex. Thanks to all the hard work, again, by the city and the rest of the team. So, Dan, if you want to take over with your items, unless there are any additional questions, I'm happy to answer.
I just want to, for the council, and that there's a process, is it's the will council move forward today, we'll take a vote on the ordinance, and then, we sent you a sealed document for signature, and I apologize in advance, but it's required, we got to send original to the AG, and, for you guys, USD, and ourselves, we keep a hard copy, and so those are the documents we sent you, but those documents are important, because I got to submit those to the Texas Attorney General, who approves all bonds issued by cities in the state, and so that process will begin if you approve tonight. And then once we go through that approval process, we will work with the USDA on a closing memo right before closing, hopefully, and then we'll get the opinion from the Attorney General, and we'll start closing on August 21st. And how that works is, and Mr. Reno probably knows a bit more of this, Heather, but we put the funds in escrow, and they look at the progress of the project, and the city will submit invoices and things of that nature, and then the USD will review and approve, and then they draw down bonds with the paying agents that PCD showed on the screen with the field data. They'll actually hold physical bonds, and when they approve invoices, we'll deliver bonds to the USDA, and then they'll release money to your account to reimburse you for your expense. Pretty into a little bit of work.
Yes. Mayor and council, any questions for bond counsel or financial advisor? Yes, sir.
I have no question.
Okay.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve that too. Is that? Second.
So we're paying interest on money we don't get yet, receive yet?
That's part of the debt, yes, sir.
That's a great question. They actually calculate it based on the amount that's outstanding. So that's a great question. Typically, when we sell bonds, we'll get all the money up front, and it goes to your fund, your project fund. In this case, it goes into the escrow, and as we draw, that's kind of we'll give them bonds. But they will only charge us interest on the amount that we've taken out. So say like in the first year, we've only gone 5 million, our interest is only on the 5 million, not on the full 24/7. Great question.
We're good?
Conrad, you seconded?
Yes.
We have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve ordinance 25-07-01 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, y'all, thank you much. Bye.
We will go on to item F3, update on the Cyclone Ballparks, events and financials. Goal 5, promote open and consistent communication, common toward Cyclone Ballparks General Manager.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and city staff that are present. I appreciate the time to come and update y'all. So, got a lot to go over. The first thing is the financial presentation for June 2025. That was given to y'all prior. I hope y'all had a chance to look over it. If not, you can always email me with additional questions. The main highlights for this month that we wanted to notate is we brought in some events. However, some of our tournaments that we brought, the rights holders canceled. Not enough people registered. We also had poor performance on the one at the beginning of the month due to some poor decision-making by the rights holder, which we have now rectified with them and made clear that those things cannot continue to happen. Namely, they were giving away free registration. People would then register and go elsewhere because they had no buy-in to come here. So we have rectified that and made sure that that does not continue, so that if people are registering here, they're actually coming here. Outside of that, unfortunately, we did not meet our goals. The events we did have exceeded our goals for those individual events, but that did not make up for our shortages for the month of June. We are continuing to monitor our expenses and keep those under. We are $52,000 under our projected expenses for the year. So we're continuing to manage those. Our cost of goods based on sales continue to stay down, but of course, if we're not bringing in money, then those costs of goods are going to stay the way they are. Is there any questions that y'all had on this report?
Your facility rentals revenue, what does that consist of?
So that is primarily field rentals at this moment in time. For the budget, as you see it, we had planned to go ahead and start renting out the clubhouse, the picnic pavilion, those new spaces, because we were told those would be done by this point. They are unfortunately not done, so we're unable to rent them out fully at this time. That does affect our revenue numbers to a certain degree as well.
General office expenses at $8,200, give or take. What are we looking at for general office expenses?
General office expenses for this month, let me get to that, one moment. $5,000 of that, $5,500 was due to SportsKey. It's a new software that's going to allow us to make a way easier system for the public to register for programs, book facility rentals, book spaces, events, whatever they're wanting to do with us. So that's a yearly subscription. It's going to replace Bond, which we were paying about $4,000 for. So it's replacing one. It's a little more expensive, but it does a lot more than Bond does.
And the last one, utilities at $14,000. What's your biggest one? Is it electrical?
Water at this moment in time is our biggest one. And we are working with the Texas New Mexico Power to see about rebates and things like that. Once the new phase comes online fully and they finish all their work, we're working with them to get some rebates to help reduce our electrical costs as well.
What's the water used for?
Just running the facility, with the construction out there as well, them cleaning and having to do stuff out there, it causes our water usage to go up. Going forward, it's now also going to be the splash pad that's online.
Just make sure you want the water in the truck.
No. I did get asked when I first started that someone said we should water the dirt to keep it from blowing everywhere. So,
Good luck with that.
yes,
Because it dries out.
yes, very quickly.
So is there a way that these people that register for an event and they cancel, is there a fine or something that you can impose to?
Yes.
Because that takes time.
Yes.
You ought to get events ready and then they're not ready. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, so in our contracts with them, there is a deposit and a cancellation timeline that they have to follow. If they don't cancel within that timeline, they owe us the full amount. Unfortunately, they usually are canceling before that, so we're not getting the full amount, we're just getting that partial.
Why are they canceling? Do you have any type of feedback of why they would register and then cancel at the last minute?
So for the teams, it was usually, like I said, the free ones they were giving away. So they'd show, for example, we had 30 or 40 teams shown on a tournament. We only actually ended up having 20 teams for that tournament because 20 of them were given free registrations. And when it came down to it, they decided, oh, it's a big weekend somewhere else, I'm going to go somewhere else. And so they'd go to Lubbock, El Paso, they'd go to Austin or Houston, and they'd pay, and they'd be bought into it. Yeah. So we've talked with that rights holder and said, like, that cannot happen going forward. You need to have people pay, because when they pay, they're bought in, they want to come. And especially a lot of these teams that are coming are having fun, they're enjoying the fields, they're enjoying the facility. So we have clarified that with them of that cannot continue. And unfortunately, we didn't realize it was happening because they hadn't been telling us that until we had some issues arise that were reported to us and we had to deal with.
Who's the one that takes care of that piece of the business, contacting the teams, setting up, who from here takes care of that?
So if it's a right...
It's been happening quite a bit in the last 5 years that we've had this facility. And and just talking to people, and people that are involved in tournaments and all that, we got top of the line facility, but yet everybody goes elsewhere instead of here.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to rectify, because what we built to make money. And yeah, we can use it during the week for the locals, but the weekend is where the money's going to be made. The hot taxes for the motels and stuff like that, the restaurant. So I know you all hired a marketing to help do that, but I still haven't seen nothing that has changed. It's still the same. We're still going through the same process of, and I'm reading the deal with the cancellations and all that. So there's got to be something when they sign, they're committed.
Yes.
And if they don't come, they lose their money. But once you make your commitment, but the charge has to be there. I mean, the money.
Yeah, and and like I said, with the teams, they're registering with the rights holders, so that's between them. We're helping advertise it, and we are building out a full-scale plan to launch this next couple weeks to help advertise all of the events coming up. So that'll be hopefully coming out here, like I said, next couple weeks.
So this plan is just now being developed.
We had
With years of failed tournaments and underperforming reports. I feel that we're getting a lot of the same, we're trying and it's in the future, and here we are years into it and it's getting worse. It's not getting better.
Of course.
I personally get a lot of reports that they visit Cyclone and it's in poor condition, it's dirty, the stands are dirty, the concession stand's not doing well. I'm kind of tired of the excuses, and I know our constituents are tired of hearing us make excuses. So what are we going to do to make it better? And I feel like these reports, they look great. The financials don't look great. The revenue takes a big piece of that. I mean, it's something's not working.
Yep.
Something has to change.
Yes, and as I mentioned, that's why we're redoing our marketing plans. Bryant, our marketing and business development manager we hired back in March, has been doing a better job than we have in the past. However, we still think there's more we can do, so we are refocusing on that in order to really push it out there. We have been working with SDM, Sports Destination Management, to advertise Pecos, put it out there in the world. They're guaranteeing us clicks and visits to our site, visits to our registrations, that kind of stuff, in order to draw more attention to Pecos and to the Cyclone ballparks.
There's a lot of Facebook ads that we're putting out there. I mean, the Facebook ads and the clicks are great, but we need to do better at maintaining the facility, and it's really disappointing.
Of course, and we will continue to work on that, and next time I speak with y'all, I'll have a plan for you.
Yeah, in another deal with the semi-pro team that came in, it doesn't get support. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if it's on the radio, on the newspapers, but I know it's not the Cyclone's job to promote them. It's their own job. They got their own general director to do that. But I hate for us to lose out on something like that because they're not doing their job either, and they have dropped the ball themselves. Because me myself, I haven't met none of those guys. Yeah, they're doing great, but I didn't even know that until Councilman Carrasco told me. Just on open session, I didn't know that. It's not on the paper because nobody reaches out to the paper, and if they reach out to the paper, is that paper actually doing it? Or is there a lack of communications in there? Because this is something that we spend a lot of money to have here, and it's the best of the best. Everybody's coming, but yet nobody comes. And either it's not being marketed right, it's not being run right, the wrong people in position. I don't know. I'm not there every day, but I go quite a bit.
Of course.
And I go looking, and I don't go looking for the bad things. I go looking to see how we can make it better, and what we the city, we spend the money to do this, and but we're not the ones that are supposed to be, pushing this. It has to be you guys, your company, and then the Pecos Bills, their management needs to get on the ball to do this.
Yes.
But I don't know, because I hate coming in there to go play what I play, and then look over there to see semi-pro, and there's hardly nobody there. Man, that's disappointing. When we got thousands of men here doing nothing but standing in their trailers after work, because nobody goes out to them to reach out to them. Hey, here's an opportunity where you guys come. We'll give you half price tickets, and we make the money off of the beer sale. So that's what they come. But I don't see that, and I can tell you, up north here, there's thousands of men there. There's many man camps out here south, and we're just not doing the job reaching out to them people, because those guys need something to do. And they come in from work and take a shower and sit there, maybe barbecue there, but give them an opportunity, something to enjoy, and we're gonna have to do the same thing when we start building what we're building into town, the new restaurants that are coming and all that, new pubs and stuff like that. We're gonna have to go out and bring them in, because they can get comfortable, but we want them, we want their business. They're here to take our money and from this community, because this is where the work is right now. And but we need to be able to offer them something for them to be excited about coming, bringing their families, and and we're spending lots of money and a lot of things in this community to make it grow. And there's a bunch of naysayers in this town that don't like it, but hey, it's one or two, and who cares? Because if this is what the community is going, that's the way the community is going, and this is the vision that we had as a council, that we want to, because we got an opportunity. There's oil company like Chevron that comes in here, and I mean, they do a lot for the community, because they do a lot of work here. But Chevron's not the only one. There's hundreds of this company, supply stores and all that your marketing manager ought to be knocking on doors and asking them for this and that and this. They want things. And I worked for oil company for a long time, and they all had a gentleman like, or a young lady doing the same thing, to go out and promote the community, because they're part of the community. They want to become part of the community. And this is a thing that we the community, the Cyclone needs to reach out to these guys and, hey, how can we help? You're helping them promote their business too. So I'm like Councilman Trujillo. I'm very disappointed in everything we've done from the beginning to now. It's always been the same. I want to be blown away by that thing. They go tournaments in little towns, not here.
Yeah.
Well, to piggyback, piggyback off of that, Thomas came into a sunken ship. So in reality, I know he's getting a lot of this, but where is the management? I don't want to beat a dead dog here our attorney tells us we're getting off subject here, but he came into a sunken ship, but yet he has a management company, gets paid $26,000 a month.
And that's where I think the big problem
Where's the
is.
support of that management company? So for the last 2 months, I've actually been dissecting, communicating, texting, calling, meeting people. And it's about repairing bridges at one point that where personalities got in the way, from directors of U-Trip, directors of USA Softball. We're still talking about the past. We're not going to sit here and talk about the past. Me as a businessman, I talk about what we can do moving forward, not what happened back then. So
Right.
I don't want to sit here and throw Thomas under the bus, because in reality, Thomas, your management company is leaving you in the dark, in my opinion, but personal. And we're looking, Thomas and I have been talking about innovative programs such as soccer programs. We have a very big demographic of soccer players here, especially the ones that cut hair. I've heard throughout the talks. I put him in contact with with Thomas. And I know you're looking into, those are the kind of guys that are going to maybe bring you $20,000 of concession sales stands, food money. We're building relationships, and I think that's the first step. It's also their job, the company we hired, SF's Sports Facilities Management Company, to make those calls. I made those calls. I made the calls to the softball directors myself, and I actually, I'm going to end it with this, not a talk all day, but the Cyclone can do better. We had that talk. We addressed it. We're going to take care of that. But we put together a solid team of people that are networked in the baseball, and it's not just baseball. We're talking about networked in communities of tourism, networked with the relationships of the softball, baseball, and sports facility. And that's why we'll talk about restructuring the board later. But I actually found a lot of good people that have more trust with those directors than I do, and they'll be willing to go back to the table and break bread. So I don't want to sit here all day and talk about what we can do about the cyclone and how's it been, but I think it does need a little bit more TLC, as mentioned, and you got to constantly, for this gentleman, we've been playing kickball. If I was a worker and I saw a council member keep playing kickball, I'll go get a scooper and start picking up trash and look busy, so we're going to figure it out.
And I think that's what's on my end and disheartening on my end, is that it's those small foundations, it's keeping it well maintained, it's making sure that those bleachers and stands are clean, making sure that the concession stand is stocked, it's the welcoming environment, it's about the customer service, and I feel that once we get that foundation down and it's welcoming and there's pride, and it's not just from the facility itself, it's from the community. And like Councilman Carrasco was saying, it's the community that needs to go out there. Yes, it is hot, but we do go out to other activities in the community the rodeo, I missed rodeo this year unfortunately, but it is also hot out there. And it's that basic, bless you, the basic foundation of the good customer service, having it well maintained, having it clean, making sure those restrooms are cleaned, there's no trash overflowing. It's those little things like that leave a lasting impression, not just for the parents, it's the visitors. They go back to their communities and they say, you know what, it's well maintained. They're taking care of that facility out there. As expensive as it is, as much as it's cost the city and the people here, there needs to be more pride put out there, and that's all I'm going to say about Cyclone.
I think one of the things that could help too is getting people, as you employ people that people know. Because all these people coming out from other towns to work here for you, people don't know them, and there's not going to be any kind of relationship there. And I go out there and I don't know half of the people there. I don't know anybody. I know you because I talk with you all the time. But I don't know none of the other guys because they're not from town. I don't see them in town. I've never seen them. The only ones I know is, besides yourself, because I see you a lot, is Frank and Danny. And they're local. Other than that, there's no local. The concession stand people, I don't know.
Well,
and I make a point of introducing myself to people. But I don't know none of these people. And you got to understand, this is a small community. Everybody knows everybody. But to do that, and I'm like Councilman Carrasco, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus because you're doing the best as you can with what you got. And if your management up on top can't see that, and we've been dealing with these people since we started this, It's pretty, it gets embarrassing when I hear things and we look like we don't know what we're doing. But yet we spent $40 million on a complex so that we could entertain people, and we're doing a bad job. And I'm not just throwing it at you because you're the one here, you know. But everybody can sit in the Crystal Palace and say good things, but it's a boots on the ground that makes it happen.
Of course.
And that's not what we have. And the commitment is, you're committed, you're here, but I don't see commitment from anything on top. If we were having a problem, and that was my company, I'm right in the middle of that. How we're gonna fix it? But I don't see that.
Well, maybe we need to invite them and drill them that way, and kind of go to the top. Be the best avenue to answer.
I will share those concerns up to my supervisor, Jess. And I did want to, just to your point about locals, all of our concession girls are local. They're all high schoolers for the most part. We have guest services staff we recently just hired that are all local as well. So we are hiring local, because obviously with our jobs being mostly part-time, people are only going to travel so far for part-time positions. So we are working on hiring that, and we have jobs posted. We are constantly reviewing so we can get more people in there, because that is going to be a big help to that effect, as well as getting more hands out there to help us with those things. So we are constantly on the look for good people to bring out there. I'm a firm believer in hiring the attitude versus hiring skills, because skills can be taught. So I want to hire the right people and make sure that, as you have all mentioned, that they care about that place. Because it is a great facility in a great town, and I want to make sure that they see that as well.
We appreciate you also. I think you're kind of like, should have postponed this, and you're kind of, on, what is it, what's the term I'm looking for, the front of the firing squad, and it's not directed at you personally, it's just a frustration, and it's not something that I share, just to me, it's what I've heard, and.
Of course.
But.
And my job is to hear that and act on it.
We appreciate you, and I see you, and just want to make it successful and.
Of course.
And representative of the vision that everybody had.
Of course.
To get it going, so thank you.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, we're working on things. We're trying to figure out, okay, how can we do this better? I actually just shared with Mr. Lino, I'm going to be going to another one of our facilities that is significantly larger but has baseball fields, does concerts, does indoor-outdoor, so that I can learn from them and see what we can bring back to here in terms of the operations and how they schedule things and how they do things, so that we can hopefully bring some of that good information back, because they are being successful where they are over in Alabama. So we want to see if we can bring some of that to us and implement that here. And, of course, make it unique to Pecos, but bring what we can back here. So we're going to be doing some of those things as well. I'll be going in August to go get that information and bring it back so we can implement some of that. But next time I'm in front of you, I'll share some updates on what we're doing to fix some of those issues that y'all have been told about.
I think one thing before we close it down, reaching out to the community. Because a lot of people don't even know we have that thing out there. That surprised me. Oh, you all have a baseball complex? Yeah. They thought it was Channel Field. Wow. So where's the disconnect there? It's not that big of a community for people not to know what we have built out there. But that's an effort that I don't know, you guys can do it or your marketing can do it, but put out flyers, put out something that gets the word out to the community of what's out there and what's being offered.
Yes.
And I like going out there. I'm ready to get out of this so that I can go play.
Yep.
I'm ready to go.
I know, I keep getting calls because everyone's worried about the weather right now.
But
It's going to go around.
Yeah.
It always does.
But it's a we can make this a win-win for all. But we need to all work together. If there's issues there, we need to know right off the bat.
Of course.
We can take care of them so that we don't hear it from others.
Of course.
Because they
that's
call you, but they call me, I talk to Charles, or they call Hector, or or Miss Trujillo, it's tiring. But we need to make a better job, and if whatever it is, we need to work together. Let's do it.
Yeah, of course.
You said you Pecos Bills, when the community's not going out there, is their management doing a good job? As far as getting the advertising out and stuff like that?
I see them posting on social media. I know they've done things. They recently did the coffee clutch. They've done the radio. They do the newspaper, I believe. So I know they're out there. I don't know to the extent of what they're doing since they are a separate entity from us. But I'm seeing it. I just don't know how effective it is and if they're focusing their efforts in the right spot. I can't speak to that.
So, Charles, are we having to pay any money for the Pecos Bills?
It's not costing us anything, but we did have them and offered it up, and as Thomas said, they were on Coffee Clash last week, and the 2 players that were on there, they did a damn good job. And they talked about how great of a community this was and how lucky they were to be here. And there's some of them that were drafted out, one of them was drafted out of high school and has been in the minor leagues for a while. The other one has moved up and down through the ranks. And they just talk nothing but great about the community, that they feel welcome. And I think that there's times, and I mean, whenever I've been to a game, there's not a lot of people there. And it's a shame because they put on a good show. And last year, they didn't do too great. This year, they're doing great.
Much better.
And it does make it much more fun to go see them win than it does to see them lose.
Yes. Yeah, and to that effect, we're also doing what we can. Bryant has been working on several videos, so we actually have a mic'd up that's going to be coming out. I believe he's doing it today or tomorrow for one of their players. And in it, he talks about how great it is to play in Texas and to play in Pecos, and that he loves it here. So to the same effect, that these guys are loving it here, and I think those kinds of things will help as well, because hearing it from the players, that carries a lot more weight, in my opinion, than me saying, yeah, they love playing here, but them actually saying it in the community, hearing that. We're also working on an end of season video for them to highlight the playoffs, which we'll find out on Saturday if we're going to be hosting the playoffs or not, because they're neck and neck with Alpine right now.
And the radio does announce it, I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
We get to other radio stations in the office at work, and they do advertise the scoring and where they're at,
And to continue to answer your question, I think they've done a better job on outreach this year, because I know they've done the Little Bills camps with the rec. They were in the rodeo parade, and they've done a few other things. So I think they're doing more and more, and they're getting their feet underneath them, which is helping. They have a really great coach heading the charge, Luke. He's been doing a great job. He's very nice to work with. If we ever have issues, we talk to him, and he's able to help us on our side of things.
Maybe they do, like in those radio stations that are with us, and then when they have concerts or events, they raffle tickets, all. Maybe the radio station caller comes in, how many callers, so the 10th caller gets 2 free tickets for a game.
Yeah.
I think Chevron was out there. And had
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fairly well attended.
Yeah, we had about 100 people or so that came out from Chevron on Friday, and I mean, from my perspective, it looks like they had fun. He told me they had fun as well, so we're trying to get to those communities and get to those groups like y'all were mentioning. We actually talked to them and invited them out for the concert tomorrow night, which was some of my next stuff I was talking about. So we've invited them out for that, because what we heard from them, from Kristen, is that her name? Christine?
Oh, yeah, Christine. Yeah.
Christine. I always want to drop off the end there.
That's all right.
But Christine, who's over at the Chevron office here in Pecos, we talked with her, and she said some of the same things. Of their guys are looking for things to do, and so we're trying to figure out, okay, what is it that they want to do, so we can start bringing them out there and give them those options. And that's what we gave them some free tickets for the concert, so that they can start to see, like, hey, this is a place you can go and hang out. You can join our leagues when you're here. Maybe there's a rotating Chevron team that the team rotates because they're not here all the time. But hopefully they'll move here and they actually stay here. That would be nice. So, but we'll continue to work on those things, and like I said, we'll have updates on that next time.
Just to wrap it up, I know it was a long one on this topic, but they've set 2 records this year, the Pecos Bills. They were one of the first teams in a 3-year span to be in second place. And they got a pitcher named Adam Mediver pitching a 1-hitter, shortest game in the league history. So down the road, what they could incorporate, and you can take this to Kathy on Texas, hand out some free tickets once the Blue Moon drops them off at Chongos, drops some off at the spot, drops them off where people trail with stuff like that go, just a couple, so you could start giving them something free and they come in, that's kind of what we do. But I'll leave you guys all with this. I appreciate you taking me in, showing me around, walking me around. You're very professional. You're very understanding. You answer all my questions. But what it all boils down to at the end of this day, this conversation is the lack on any department is accountability. The thing that upsets us more as a council, a representative to our constituents, is we have to repeat ourselves consistently and the point's not getting across. It could be your department, it could be another department, it could be another department, so forth. But to sit here month after month to still talk about the dirtiness of the cyclone, the dirtiness of the community and so forth, show us some kind of accountability. That's all we ask.
Of course.
When somebody calls me and says, hey, we had a situation that was a threat made in the cyclone and it gets swept under the rug, it agitates me. It really does that. I'm not aware of it to see what came out of that. Or, hey, why are we still talking about trash? Why are we still talking about this? And then 2 months later, we're talking about the same thing. Lack of accountability. And that's where I'm getting tired of my end, is just repeating myself to say, hey, what's going on? Oh, well, it's always an excuse. So not just on your part, but thank you for coming out here today. I have no more questions on my end on this topic.
We did address that issue yesterday, Baker, just so you know.
Yeah. And to that point as well, something that I think we will have to do is do a better job of letting people know they can call me if there are issues, because Councilman Saldana, to your effect, people are calling you, and then if you call Charles calls me, and it's the first I'm hearing of it sometimes. And so it's being better on, if the community is noticing something or if they have an issue, making sure they're letting us know so we can actually act on it. So we will work on that and figure out a game plan of what that looks like and how we can help get that word out there better of, hey, if you've got an issue, if you've got a concern, let us know, because we'll fix it. We will actively work to fix it, but we got to know about it sometimes. So, yeah.
Instead of jumping the chain of, not chain of
Yeah.
command, say, but just get to the chain.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's going to come to me, and I got to act on it anyway. So, and then to that effect as well, if there's ever an issue that I'm aware of, especially if police or EMS are involved, then I'm calling Charles and letting him know right away. Because that way, same thing. If someone's calling y'all and saying something, he's already got the information from us. So we want to have that open communication. So we're definitely on board with that, and we'll work to, if that's signage, if that's doing more out in the community of putting me out there and standing in front of everyone, that's fine. But we'll see what that looks like and work towards that. Of course, the last thing I just wanted to share, I have other things that I can always talk about next time, but we have a lot of stuff we're planning to do, and I say planning because we are doing them. Field Day Fridays is going to be something we're going to do for the school, because they're going to be now out of school on Fridays. So we're going to offer a field day situation where the kids can be dropped off. We'll help them with schoolwork. We'll give them fun things to do. We'll use the splash pad, that kind of stuff. So we're going to do things like that. We're going to do more family nights, more movie nights, more family events, really ramp up what we're doing, because I think as you said, we can do more, and we want to do more. So we're going to be doing that. That's part of that new marketing plan, is identifying how we're going to push this out to the community, letting people know about it. And then what else can we bring on the tourism side of things that can come in and bring those events to us. So we're going to be really ramping that up, and I'll have more to share at the next council meeting that I come to, hopefully in about a month. And then just to share one small update with y'all as well from the grand opening events this last weekend. Overall, a very successful weekend for us. We had $11,168 in revenue from all of our different sources. So part of that was the Chevron night with the Pecos Bills. We had a second Pecos Bills game on Sunday. We had our grand opening event on Thursday. And then we also had our World Series going on Friday and Saturday night. So overall, a very successful event for us. We turned a gross profit of $4,432 for this weekend. It would have been higher, but we did have to spend about 30 to 40 hours cleaning up the construction area because they did not clean up after themselves. So we had to dedicate our time to getting that area prepped. So it would have been higher, but that's why. Overall, though, we hit 20% on our labor to revenue percent for food and beverage, which is exactly what we want to be at. And we saw a lot of positives on some of our new products, such as lemonade and mini melts, which are like Dippin' Dots, if you don't know what mini melts are. So we've seen a lot of positives on that, and I expect that's only going to continue, especially as we wrap up construction and actually get into all these new spaces. So Any other questions about anything at Cyclone?
And it's only July, but you need to start painting Christmas.
Yes, yes. I actually had a conversation with Charles today about that. So, yes, we're going to get on that. Probably have meetings set for y'all here soon, so we can start making game plans for that. I think we have a very good base to start with now that I've got a year underneath me, so we'll be able to do a really good job this year and really make it something special, I think. There won't be a fence in the way either.
Can you make this one real quick? TBD, Babe Ruth interest in expansion in West Texas. Can you dumb that down for me just really quick?
Yeah, so we have, SFC has a partnership with Babe Ruth as a whole. They're at several of our facilities, especially on the East Coast. I have talked with their leader of operations, director of operations, I don't know his official title, about coming to West Texas. Currently, they do have an operation in Lubbock. I'm telling them they need to go to true West Texas and get out here. So we're trying to see what that looks like. That is a bit of a slower process because they have such a big name. They want to make sure when they expand the right way. So, but we are continuing that conversation, and every chance I get, I'm talking to him and seeing what we can get out here.
Continue the rest at the Cyclone.
Yeah.
I just ask you these over there.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for your time, and as always, I mean, any concerns, questions, please reach out to me. Charles has my number. Y'all should have my email or my numbers on our website. I'm happy to answer them. If you ever want to tour the facility, like Mr. Carrasco did this week, I'm happy to show you around and talk about the issues and concerns that you're being told. Because, like I said, I want to solve them too. So, but I appreciate your time. If you have anything else, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
We will go to item F4, discuss, consider ordinance 25-06-01, an ordinance amending chapter 22 environment of the city code of ordinances designed to regulate noise by various alternative means. Second reading, strategic goal 2, safe and secure city. Lisa Tarango, Chief of Police.
Mayor, Council, Lisa Tarango, Chief of Police. I bring before you a resolution for ordinance again. At the request of the council is what this was done for, to look at the continued ongoing complaints we get about noise violation. I know we looked at different levels or different decibels, different times, different locations. This is the second reading. Last council meeting, I did bring you examples to show you kind of what those decibel readings would look like. Of course, a lot of these decibel readings are in passing, so it may not seem as annoying as something that would go on for an extended period of time. But this was an ordinance that council, you guys have asked me to revisit and show you these examples, and that's where we are today.
I still think we need to just set it at 70. I know you guys are going to go with the other, but instead of flopping up and down, up and down, up and down, different times of the day, different times of the night, I said decibel level, permissible decibel level. Will keep the owners from local times, now that will, I'll have to raise it up again. So,
And as an agency, we are open to either direction. It's either state law or city ordinance that we're going to enforce. So it's, we can't really say like we need you to set it at a certain decibel, because we're going to enforce either way, whatever the council sees fit.
Mr. Grant, Councilman Graham, I'm gonna overstep you a little bit here. Maybe my motion won't pass, but I'll make a motion that we maintain throughout the day and night all the zones that are presented here to just simple 70 decibels.
I'll second. Keep it simple.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Trujillo to approve the ordinance to maintain all zones at a 70 decibel per percentage.
Wait a minute, can we do that? The first reading was showing the votes, and now we're... Huh? Okay.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose.
Okay. You show that the motion carries with Councilman Carrasco opposing the motion. We'll go to item F5.
I could say something right quick? Just for the record, or just so people know, a while ago when that fire truck passed by there, 75 decibels on my phone. With a buffer. So outside would have been probably about 80 or 100, somewhere there. Real cheap to get, you just download it for free.
That's it.
But I'm serious about it. He just dropped in the phone with 70.
Okay, go to item F5, discuss, consider ordinance 25-07-02, an ordinance to abandon and relocate a portion of a 20-foot wide alleyway out of Block 2, Airline Heights Addition, to the town of Pecos City, Reeves County, Texas. Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development, Holly Jiraki.
Mayor, Council, Holly Jiraki, Community Services Director. In your packet, you see ordinance for the 20-foot abandonment for the purpose of the PBT ISD administrative building.
So you're abandoning the part of the alley that's going north and south.
It's, yes,
That's in that block.
20 feet going south from Adams Street. Yes, ma'am.
And
Beg your pardon?
what's the other street?
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Is this still going to be open there? Or is it-
So it's going to be open there, and we actually open a 20-foot alley coming off of Eddy Street, which will allow for emergency and trash, but primarily trash and utility work.
So the trash truck, will it have a in and out, or is it going to have?
They will actually, yes, sir, they'll be able to come in and exit. They will not have to back up. And that's to accommodate the two homes that are in that particular area.
They'll have to back up?
They won't have to back up. No, we've made sure that they have the proper turn radius there.
So they'll come in through Eddy Street or come in through Jefferson?
I believe they're going to be coming in through Eddy Street because it's a driver's side load, and I
Right.
want to say it's on, I believe it's on the back property lines of the properties right off of Eddy Street.
Are there any electric, sewer, water lines that have to be moved?
All of that's been has been abandoned, all easements, et cetera. The school did communicate with all of the utility companies to abandon all of the services, to include the electric, the water, the sewer, as well as gas.
Didn't erase their lines, change out poles, rerouted, took a section off of that between Adams and Jefferson.
Uh-huh.
Two different directions.
Right, so it didn't actually continue all the way across Adams going north, and so it did continue from the south end, from the Jefferson going south.
Not your favorite, not yours.
They'll have commercial because it's for the school.
That's a possibility.
You should see the one I have. May I make a motion to approve ordinance 25-07-02?
A second.
Is that you? You guys have sound alike already. We got a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham to approve ordinance 25-07-02 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Item F6, discuss, consider a plat approval request by PBT ISD for a survey of property legally described as Block 2, Airline Heights Addition, to the town of Pecos City, Reeves County, Texas, for the consideration of redesignating the herein above described property as Lot 1, Block 1, PBT ISD Administration Addition, being the replat of lots 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and the abandonment and relocate of the north part of the 20-foot wide plat alley, all out of Block 2, Airline Heights Addition, to the town of Pecos City, Reeves County, Texas. Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development, Holly Jiraki.
Mayor, Council, for the record, Mayor, Council, the plat that is listed as discuss, consider was approved through our planning and zoning meeting Monday night and waits for your approval.
And that's similar to the first one, the one we just read.
It's similar, except
Yeah.
it was an abandonment versus the actual plat that was approved through planning and zoning.
Well, I'll make the motion that we approve this particular item. It doesn't have a number.
F6.
F6?
You don't want to read the whole deal?
Yeah, right.
I'll say, go ahead.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilman Saldana, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve the plat presented by Holly Jiraki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Go to item F7, discuss, consider a plat approval request made by Alfred and Christina Garcia for a survey of property legally described as Section 10, Block 5, Abstract Number 241, Block 5, H&GN Railroad Company Survey, Town of Pecos City, Reeves County, for the consideration of designating the herein above described property as lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, Block 1, Garcia subdivision, being a replat of a 2.06 acre tract of land and a dedication of the 40 feet wide right-of-way out of the north part of tract lot 16, Fort Daggett acres unreported, out of the Section 10, Block 5, Abstract Number 241, Block 5, H&GN Railroad Company Survey, Town of Pecos City, Reeves County. Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development.
That's the last one. Mayor, Council, the plat presented to Planning and Zoning was to add an additional 15 feet to create the proper size alley for this particular development. Planning and Zoning did approve the plat.
I'll make a motion that we approve item F7 as presented by Ms. Hall.
I'll second.
Hector, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
We've got a motion from Councilwoman Trujillo, a second from Councilman Carrasco to approve the plat for Alfred and Christina Garcia as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Item F8, discuss, consider resolution 25-07-03R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Rudy's Paving and CSA Materials for road resurfacing, striping, and road materials for Eddy Street in the amount of $1,095,203. Goal 7, enhance Pecos' infrastructure network. Holly Jiraki.
Mayor, Council, Holly Jiraki, Community Services Director. I know the Town of Pecos City has spoken out quite a bit regarding Eddy Street, its conditions, striping, etc. We were able to locate 2 good companies to provide bids on striping and went one step further. This is a budgeted item through our street maintenance tax, well under what we actually have available. We're excited that the pricing came in, as I was telling Mr. Lino, about $1 million less than what we were looking at 2 years ago. So it's a project that would take about three weeks, but I'm excited to present this, and the product that we're actually going to be putting on the roadway, the striping, is actually going to be a thermoplastic striping. It's going to be 2 coats for all of the striping, and then thermoplastic torching on all of the stop bars. What that means? 4 or 5 years on all your stop bars alone. But that product is going to hold up and last a whole lot longer on a recycled road. So this is a 2-inch Type D roadway that is TxDOT approved, and if you have any questions.
I have one. It says you're gonna resurface.
Yes, sir.
It's not just a spray and,
No. This is not a chip seal. The roadway is in good enough condition for us to allow for a 2-inch overlay of the hot mix type D product. They're going to come in and actually cut away anywhere from 1 to 2 feet from our curb and gutters, so that when they do lay this roadway down, it matches the grade of our curb and gutter and does create a proper drainage path. So the material is going to look very similar to a new asphalt road.
And it's all Eddy Street?
All Eddy Street from 3rd Street to Stafford.
Stafford, okay.
Yes, sir.
Have we done work with this company before?
The company's done work and came to my attention. The company's done several projects here in Pecos, and it was brought to my attention because I was looking for another competitive bid.
Okay. So I assume, the reason I say is I assume they're going to start one piece and then use the center lane to go east to west, and then they'll go in phases so we don't destroy what they're building, kind of, right? I mean, I ask this because sometimes it's crazy, and I'm not saying we're going to do this, but I've seen projects where they do one and then the next day they're driving on it, or 2 days later, instead of using the middle lane and then go in a phase, this one's complete, give it 3 days to dry out, then go this way and so forth, right? So do they have a plan like that to where not just wasting taxpayers' dollars? And yeah, it just feels like that sometimes.
Good question. Good question. So what they stated to me was, they initially asked if we could detour everything off of Eddy, and I said it's not feasible. Well, we could, but it's not, it really isn't feasible. I was concerned about 18-wheeler traffic. They said with the material underneath, with the base that we have, which is a good base, it's not a broken base on that road. But he said, even if you actually got some 18-wheeler traffic, it's not going to hurt it. But to answer your question, we're going to be working with the county to utilize more traffic control, and we are going to be meeting to discuss in a pre-construction on where we want to start and how we want them to actually lay it out. So ideally, by the time they start at one piece, my understanding is 45 minutes. But this is a material that goes down and can be driven on. It's not, there's not a whole, actually, the paint is going to take longer, to be honest with you, than the road material itself.
Do you have any meetings, since you oversee this, do you have meetings with their supervisor before, say, this is what our expectations are? Do y'all have to ever, sit down and say, hey, because this is your department, right?
It's actually, as of this morning,
Okay, cool.
as of this morning,
It's Melvin's.
it's Kelvin's, but we have discussed this. Did he walk away? Get over here.
The reason I ask is, I would love to sit down with the one in charge to say, look, these are our expectations, this is who I am, this is what I want to see moving forward, and then keep an update on the progress.
Yeah, so we are planning on, a pre-construction would allow us to sit down and have a plan in place, as I said, deciding on actually where we're going to start, the best place to start. We only have 3 lanes up to 7th, from 3rd up to 7th, so this is their expertise. I'm going to lean into that, obviously, but we can reiterate the importance of maintaining the new material. If we see something, Councilman, I will say something. I'm looking at what we have right now out here, and we expect something a lot better than that.
Yeah, it's naughty on 3rd Street right now.
Yes, ma'am.
When can they start?
He wanted to start Monday. I was like, I have to take it to council. So I will be contacting him tomorrow morning so that we can coordinate a pre-construction meeting. But we can definitely, we always, pardon me?
It'll be pretty quick.
It will be pretty quick, but the time, the downtime for a full completion is about 3 weeks, or less. Yes, sir.
I'm looking at their bid sheet. It only comes up to 500,000 plus.
Correct. So the way, yes, sir, the way the bid sheet, one of the options that they gave me and told me that the city would be able to save several $100,000 is if we purchase the material independent from their contract, and we were able to get that material at $103 per ton versus $127 per ton here. and they will be bringing that material in. We're not responsible for bringing it in. We won't be mobilizing material. It'll be trucked in as they are installing it. But the purpose of it was to actually save a few $100,000.
So we may not have to spend the $4 million.
No, so actually, the bid that you see comes out to $995,000 and just a little over. I added an additional 10%, and that is to anticipate any change that may need to be addressed. I didn't want to go below that. I knew that we had just under 1.5 to work with, but I added that just to alleviate any issues. So it very well could still come in at $995.
If we overbuy, this is, help me out here, Juanita. If we overbuy that asphalt, and let's say we spend maybe $100,000 extra, and we had extra, do they credit us and take that back, or the reason I say this is because one of our constituents brought this to my concern, and I'm not really going to touch up on it, is that they said, oh, somebody overbought, now they're dumping in somebody's land.
Yeah.
Like, those are taxpayers' dollars, right? So
Yes.
what happens in our end if we overbuy too much asphalt? They get it back and we get money back?
So we got our initial count at 6,000 tons, came back and did a second count and got it to 5,200 tons to meet the 84,000 square feet that's going to be required to meet. So we should be on point at 5,200 tons.
But that's where you get the 500,000 plus, but then you have to buy material, and that's a separate item.
So the 469,000 is Rudy's paving. That is their mobilization, their labor, they're bringing in the material and laying it and building the road. The 500, and I'd have to go back and look at my numbers, the 500 and something thousand is for the 5,200 tons at $103 a ton.
I don't see the breakdown, the complete breakdown.
So there's actually, should be two bids there in your packet. One bid is from Rudy's Paving, and the second bid is CSA Materials. And CSA Materials should identify what their bid is.
Let's not forget, this is a budgeted item.
And it is a budgeted item through our street maintenance.
Hey, Rudy's didn't have any figures on his.
Rudy's has figures at the bottom, 469.
Whose project was it on 3rd Street? On the east side going past, going towards, past King Sharp? Is that TxDOT's project?
3rd Street, yes, all of 3rd Street.
Can you please make sure we get our money's worth and it does not look like that? That's all I ask.
For 80th Street you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, no,
Absolutely.
yes.
This is totally different.
Yes.
I understand, but
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying
didn't get to
that
make it
itself,
Oh,
if I was that department head, I'd be like, this is not what I'm paying for.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We've already been complaining.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Holly, this deal from Rudy's has no dollar amount on it.
Yep.
No, this was the packet that was added. This is the packet that was supposed to be added.
Well, if it's 5,200 yards at the 130, that's
So
35,
Rudy's would be
35,
469 and CSA, it's 995 what?
It's $535,600
Plus 469.
plus 469.
Yes.
That's the 995.
Yes, sir.
And you added 10%.
10%. 10% for,
What if?
well, one year we had something done on Eddy Street. They forgot one of the intersections. That's what I'm anticipating, just in case. Doesn't seem like it, but possibly.
It should actually come out to the contingency, that's why she's asking for
Are we cool? Are we okay?
Ready to rock and roll, ready to
Yeah,
go.
let's do it.
Make a motion to consider going agreement with Resolution 25-07-04, authorizing the city to enter a contract with pavement restoration.
03, sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, FA, apologize, yes. 25-07-03 bar.
I'll second.
Have a motion from Councilman Carrasco, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve Resolution 25-07-03R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Go to item F9, discuss consider Resolution 25-07-04R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Pavement Restoration, Inc. in the amount of $221,951.50 for the fiscal year 2025 pavement rejuvenation program. I did that when I was reading it. Goal 7 enhances Pecos' infrastructure network. Holly Jiraki.
You've been busy, lady.
I'm turning streets over. But these
It's
are,
time of the year.
it is actually that time of the year. This is when these projects actually start kicking off. Mayor Council Holly Jiraki, Community Services Director. And this, again, this is a budgeted item through our professional services that we budgeted for 24-25 season. Pavement Restoration's been doing business and providing us preventative maintenance for our roadways since 2018. It's been an excellent program. It is a project that it helps slow down the oxidation of our roadways. Roadways oxidate the second they start getting installed. So this particular product is an emulsion and then a layover of sand. It doesn't affect any of our metal valves, manholes. If a vehicle, for whatever reason, does not move, it does not stick to anything except the material it is meant to stick to. It provides less water to penetrate the roadways, which in turn allows those roadways to last a little longer. It just adds more life to these roadways. What I asked him to put together this year was north-south on the entire east side. There was 3 roads. In your packet, you're going to see up the east side is north-south from Ash all the way to Magnolia, and they're going to go as far as they can on the east side to the south, up to 14th Street. There were 2 or 3 streets that are in such poor condition, this is not a product that's going to be beneficial for them. But overall, we had 153 yards, just over 153,000 yards at $1.45 a square yard, which includes everything. That's their traffic control notification of all the community on the east side when they are going to start this project, which is August. It's a very quick project. You can drive on it immediately, and it starts. Once that product goes down, it immediately starts working.
And this is this coating that you install every year?
Yes, sir. So it's a reclamite type of product. It's like an emulsion that goes down. They spray that down, they come back and they put sand down, and then they come back after that, and then they sweep all of that up.
No questions, I make the motion that we approve resolution 25-0704R as presented.
Ballard?
Yes. Sorry.
Have a motion from Councilman Saldana, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve Resolution 25-07-04R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Discuss, consider Resolution 25-07-05R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement in the amount of $174,544.54 with Stanley Ford Eastland. This is Goal 6, Sound Governance and Physical Management. Holly Jiraki.
Mayor, Council, in your packet, you're going to see 2 different bid packs. One is for parks for 1 vehicle, and one is for street department for 2 vehicles, replacing 1 2007 vehicle in parks, 1 2008 vehicle in streets, and 1 2006 vehicle in streets. The 2 vehicles in streets have proven to be, they're proven to be costly. We can't, we get them out of the shop, we're now looking at a transmission issue on one, and the other one is, the parts are so obsolete, it's taking forever to even get door handles in. These are budgeted items, and through our capital outlay.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Are those vehicles assigned to an individual?
Yes, they are.
So they're 2010, 2008?
2007 in Parks is assigned to an individual who wasn't even able, just recently was having an issue. He couldn't open the door. He was having to climb out his window. And we were, we had been working on getting these over here. Fleet had prepared comparative pricing.
And the reason I ask is because they're old vehicles, almost
Yes.
10 years old.
Yeah.
And that's why I ask, because you drive the vehicle, you assign a vehicle, that vehicle actually is part of your job, to take care of it, maintain it, so that we won't go through vehicles as often. But 2007, 2008, I mean, that's
Yes,
good
and
life
2006, yes.
for
So,
everyday work.
yeah, it's our responsibility to also, try to, we're not trying to spend, 16 grand on a vehicle, and we've come across that at times, as it's better to make the investment. We are looking at vehicles that our fleet manager is specialized in, now, but also making sure that we're not just buying vehicles to have extra vehicles out in the yard.
Okay, so Stanley is the same owner on all three bids?
It's 3 different franchises, and the bids are all different from each of those franchises.
I see that. but
Yes, sir.
Stanley Ford, so what's Stanley? That's not, Stanley and Gilmer, Stanley and Eastland, and Stanley and,
My understanding to that, the only way I can explain it is that he owns he owns the name Stanley, and each individual location is selling that product under, they're providing a franchise fee to sell that product under his name, possibly to get the absolute best price.
And what happens to the older vehicles? What do y'all do?
These more than likely are going to go directly into our auction.
Oh.
Yes.
what happened to Sweetwater?
These were better deals.
What?
These were better deals.
Our fleet manager, yeah, that's what, our fleet manager was what happened.
If no more questions, I move that we approve Resolution 250705R.
Have a motion from Councilman Saldana, a second from Councilman Arona to approve Resolution 25-07-05R as presented. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Go to item F11.
Thank you.
Discuss, consider Resolution 25-07-06R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Yellow House Machinery for the procurement of Striker Gold 6, sound governance, and physical management. Pedro Morales.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. P. Morales, landfill supervisor. I bring to you today a request for the council to consider to enter into a purchase agreement through a lease with Yellow House Machinery Company for a 2024 John Deere 460P tier articulating dump truck, also known as a scraper. This equipment will replace our 2012 John Deere scraper, which is has given us 13 years of service and it reached its end of its reliable operational life. Over the past few years, the 2012 scraper has experienced multiple mechanical issues. Spent a lot of time in the shop. It's getting a lot of metal sheddings inside the axle components from wear and tear. This equipment is vital to our daily operations. It's to excavate dirt from our trenching. It is to also cover our Type 1 solid municipal waste that the trash trucks bring in. And it's required by the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality to do daily cover. This also helps us essentially to prevent fires, control odors, deter animals, and reduce wind-blown litter. At the landfill, we're committed to continue to improve and make it a major plan to be proactive in meeting our state mandate obligations. And as part of the contingency, we would like to have this critical piece of equipment. So basically, we want to lease this equipment for a couple of months until we can reach to the next budget, and with no obligation to purchase if it's not approved by y'all. So basically, that's what it is, to lease it for a couple of months to reach to the next budget fiscal year. Yes, if approved, we can buy it.
So it's not in the budget?
No.
It will,
Proposal
I mean,
for the next
it's
year.
projected for the next budget that you all will approve. But for right now, it's critical. I had a conversation with the salesman there, and his plan was to lease the piece of equipment out until the first of the fiscal year. I told him, tell me what a lease price would be now, because our piece of equipment has been down. It's actually in Odessa right now, the one that we want to trade in. And I think it's as a benefit to the city for us to go ahead and lease it now and not pay for a piece of equipment that has an extra 2 months or 2.5 months of hours on it, that we don't know how who it was leased to, and risk that it won't be available come October.
What's the deal? What's the warranty like?
The warranty.
It's going to come with
Yeah.
the standard warranty once it's done, right? It's not very long. It's going to be on the powertrain
It's got
materials.
48 months, 4,000 miles. It's what
Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to be if it's new, and I think that could be deteriorated if it's somebody else using it, where that may reduce the number of hours that are available.
How many scrapers do you have right now?
We have one right now, Caterpillar.
And
That's
where-
in the shop.
No, the John Deere's in the shop.
Oh, yeah.
At the yard, we have a 2023 Caterpillar.
How many scrapers do you need to run that outfield? Usually one, will one suffice?
We need two. We need a backup, a contingency backup plan in case
So
of,
if we do lease this, they'll immediately replace it if something happens, correct? Instead of waiting in the shop?
exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's do it.
Make a motion to approve F11.
A second.
07, 06, and 04.
I'll second.
Who was that?
Carrasco, second.
Casey, hold on. We got a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Carrasco to approve Resolution 25-07-06R as presented. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. We go to item F12, discuss, consider Resolution 25-07-07R, authorizing the mayor and city manager to act as the authorized signatories on all documents and forms pertaining to the Rural Utilities Services Broadband Technical Assistant Grant Award, Goal 6, Sound Government and Physical Management. You're not Heather Rivera.
I am not. Mayor and Council, Charles Leno, City Manager.
You changed.
I did. I changed my jacket. No. Mayor and Council, this is a grant that we had applied for a while back that you all approved. We did receive this grant. It is to work on a plan and to start implementation. We are working in coordination with the county. It's the goal of the county and the city to try to bring broadband or more accessible broadband to the entire community. It also partners with the school to try to get some of their stuff so that we can, the goal would be to make this a smart city at some point in time. It is going to take a while. This is just the start of what we can do, and the grant was approved, so I'm just asking for you to look at this and allow the mayor and I to be the signatories on this account so we can move it forward.
What's the amount of the grant?
500,000, Randy.
And it got approved.
It was. It is our grant now. We just have to designate through the USDA and through their RUS program, the designated signatories so that we can execute the documents.
I make a motion we approve that Resolution 25-07-07.
I'll second.
Conrad, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
We've got a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve Resolution 25-07-07R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Go to item F13, discuss, consider Resolution 25-07-08R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into contract negotiations with Payne Industries for the 2023-2028 annexation survey services, strategic goal 1, sustainable economic development.
Mayor and Council, Charles Leno, City Manager. This is one that about a little over a month ago, council asked us to bring back. We did put it out for bid again, clarifying some of the information in there. We did receive 3 qualifying bids. There were 2 bids that were received after the deadline, so those were automatically discounted. We did review with and added another person to the review team. And after we scored everything independently, per state law, Payne Surveying or Payne Industries became the top one again. I will tell you that after the comments that we had last time, Mr. Payne has opened up a lease space and has an office now located here in Pecos. He's leased some space at one of the other business entities, so he has a presence here now, he says. I recommend, he's done a good job on the ones we've done in past, so I recommend that we award this to Payne Industries.
You know, one of the things, one of the stipulation was that, and as we're growing with our community, we're gonna have a lot of people moving in, but they're just moving in themselves. That's it. And that doesn't make them local. And I like to see our local people take precedence to anything, and you know, because it's about Pecos, and like I've said it, and I've said it many times, I'm tired of people coming to Pecos and prostituting Pecos.
Yes, sir.
Taking money and leaving, and their money goes elsewhere instead of in Pecos.
Yes, sir.
They don't live here, and I'm not against anybody, I'm just saying, so they know that when they come into Pecos, you want to do business in Pecos, have an office in Pecos, pay taxes in Pecos, because we've had too much of this, and they come and go and leave once they get what they want. And I don't like that. And they may score high, but I don't care. I still want to see the push of the people locally. I mean, I know we can't do it all like the big companies like Chevron and all that, but these individuals that come in and start their business and all that, I mean, you know, like Mr. Carrasco is a business owner in Pecos, living in Pecos and all that, and most of here. So this is why you know, when we go out for bid, and you know, I mean, there's timelines, like you said.
Yes, sir.
But just because they score high and all that, I still want to see what the locals can do in Pecos.
And if we had that latitude, I would agree with you, but we don't have that latitude per state law. We have to follow a procurement method,
Right.
and we have to award it unqualified that way. I wish some of the locals would bid on more things. And there's times when they do bid, but and it's one of the reasons why we're doing RFQs more than RFPs, because we're trying to give some latitude so that we can negotiate after the fact. I can tell you that all this does with it being an RFQ is allows us to negotiate. If the price comes in too high, then we come back to council and say we're going to have to rebid this because it's not what we were looking at.
But I do want the best person out there doing the work on Pecos, because it's important that we have quality work. And I'm not the big stickler because he did put an office here, but I just don't see giving it to somebody that really it's not going to be quality work.
Well, no, I mean, it has to be quality work. Anything we do it's going to have to be quality work. I mean, the bid may be, whatever bid it is, high or low, but even if the bid is higher, but the quality is better, I'd rather go to the higher bid, you know, for something like that. But this is the scoring that you do through the process.
Yes, sir.
So, who is EHT?
EHT is a firm that is an engineering firm. They're the ones that are managing the project at our wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
They're a large engineering firm. And WTC is the company that's doing our water field. They're an engineering firm, but has surveying with Chad Tompkins.
Yeah, all right.
I just want to make a comment that we have, I guess, some information here from Mr. Philip Payne, and I'm not questioning his work ethics or his ability to do the survey. I just found it a little bit, I don't want to say insulting, it was just kind of, okay, I'm going to say it. It was, he rented a space on July 1st, which I understand, office space here in Pecos is hard to find sometimes. But July 1st, he rented office space for $250 per month, which, okay, he took our advice into consideration. It's included a picture and stuff, and I get, this is a big survey, it's a lot of, it's important. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of feel almost like, well, okay, we're invested in Pecos, here's your office space, we have it, I put a nice sign. Mr. Payne is a very nice man. He went and found me at work, my little hidey hole at work. He was very, very kind and went, and I understand, it's an important job, and I don't take our positions lightly, and I know we need to award it to the best firm. And you guys do your job, your due diligence in scoring. I'm with Mr. Sahan. I like for it to go to a local firm, but I'm just saying, he asked what we asked him to do, found some office space. Does this mean he's the best person for the job? I don't know. But that's just what I'm going to say. And I'm nothing against him. He seemed very professional, very nice.
Yes, ma'am.
But with 2 rounds of scoring, they
Right.
scored the highest both times.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So,
Any other comments?
No, that's all I'm going to say.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second that.
I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Arona to approve Resolution 25-07-08R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Item F14, discuss, consider the reappointment of up to 7 board members for the Cyclone Ballparks Local Government Corporation Board, Strategic Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development, Charles Lino, City Manager.
Mayor and Council, Charles Lino, City Manager. This is one that we went back and we, with the City Secretary, with Syra and I talked about it. I've been approached. It's time that asked if we could create something. I told them that this corporation, when we initially did it, this local government corporation, was strictly to hold the alcohol permit out of Cyclone, but that it could be utilized in different ways. And all of the people who were on the board, their terms expired in June, so it's time to reappoint. Wendy did confirm with me right at the start of the meeting that each one of the people that are currently on the board did affirm that if they're considered, they're still interested. But I know there's been discussion about changing things up a little bit, so I entertain a discussion and see what direction Mayor and Council would like to go.
Well, that doesn't have issue with the council member. Do we have to have a council member there?
You do not.
Does it have to be 7 by the alcohol license?
No, it is strictly by the bylaws of the group, or the way it was created.
And what I'd like,
It's the Articles of Incorporation. There are no bylaws.
and what I'd like to see of the board now,
We do not. We could, I'm going to recommend that since it's going to be a functional board, that board create some bylaws and develop some bylaws to utilize. Right now, with it just being holding an alcohol license, there was no need to have a set of bylaws for it.
And maybe even set a staggered term. I mean, they can, because right now, the way you have it, everybody's out, everybody's in.
It does, and that could be developed in the bylaws, and then it can be modified after the fact.
So what I would like to see of this board is if, to create the deal, but be a board not just to hold the liquor or the alcohol license, but be a board that's involved with the baseball. Instead of the calls coming to Charles about everything, the board starts taking care and be board members that understand baseball, are connected with baseball, that can help promote that complex. That's a lot of money sitting out there. But we need board members that are willing and able to stand up and make a call, and not the call come to you, Charles, right?
I'm not going to fight with you on that.
How often has this board met? Are they meeting?
They've met one time.
One time?
Yeah. And that's why the board needs to change and become more active and have responsibilities for.
Yeah, because they had no other really action that they were going to take.
So I went scouting, council, mayor, public, everybody. I'll just wait. Good. So council, mayor, public, everyone, I went scouting. Been doing this for a month, and I asked myself, what kind of board do we need out there? It's not just baseball. It's tourism, it's entertainment, it's networking, it's people skills, it's marketing. And I made phone calls to these people to ask them, are you interested? And if so, are you willing to put in the work? So these are some notable names. I don't know if you want me to read them off now or just kind of.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to, because it's going to be up for discussion by the council.
I contacted Marissa Flores. She's a local realtor here, and she's, in her line of business, she's not afraid to get out there and think outside the box and find innovative problems, solutions to problems. David Joe Gonzalez, who's been involved in travel ball, along with Jesus Orozco, who's a school board member. These people have been involved with tournaments for the last 10 years, along with Heather's husband, AJ, but they know the right people who run the tournaments, the softball, and have all the right connections. I talked to Lucretia Molinar, who represents tourism from back in the day in the chamber. I've talked to Alfredo Cedano as well. Alfredo Cedano would be a good fit. And of course, myself, if I'd be involved, I'd be, kind of representation of council. And you had mentioned Lupe Herrera.
Yeah, Lupe reached out to him.
Yeah.
Wanted to get involved.
So this board has to not just be one-sided to just say, oh, we're going to focus on baseball. We got to think about soccer programs. We got to think about tourism programs, different ideas, just move, right? So this is fresh blood, young, fresh blood, and a couple of old schools in there, which is fine. But these are people that gave me their verbal, hey, I'm on board, I'm ready to go. This ain't people just going to sit there and like, yeah, I guess I'll show up. So with the blessing of everybody, these are the names that I'm not saying I want to run the show, but these are great people that came to mind, and I would assume that some of you agree on some of them, but they're willing to put in the work, and they're willing to restructure the Cyclone. And they know their role. They understand at the end of the day, whoever runs the Cyclone, and they on some council, but they're there for feedback and to break bread and discuss different types of ideas. So, and I think that should be with every board that we move forward down the road. I'm not going to get off subject, but you need working bees. You don't just need somebody for the title or somebody who's going to be there to do all these different types of boards. So in my opinion, it was a tough one. I went scouting out, and I even called certain people and said, hey, can you give me some names? So if y'all have any more names, this is not for sure, but we could vote on it if y'all bring.
I asked around also, so
Yeah.
that's good. My brother is very involved in local rec sports
Right.
in
Yeah, that's a
town,
good one, too.
in the rec center. He's coaching. He's very knowledgeable, and he's probably going to say why. I asked him, he's like, shh. Yeah, okay, add my name to the hat. So I would like to actually
Good.
add Tony Trujillo also.
And her brother's one thing I like about your brother, he understands it, and he's also reasonable, right? So he's not out there just.
Unlike his.
Yes, yeah.
A little bit more level-headed.
Lupe Herrera is a past president of the Little League, so he understands.
Yes.
For years he did that. And so,
And since we don't have bylaws, can we just go that and plus that?
We can't right now because the way that the articles of incorporation, now it could be amended to where it's brought back after the board's in existence.
Well, okay, and I was going to recommend Hector, so now we've got 8 names out there.
I'd be willing to step out. 7. I mean, does it have to be 7? I mean,
Well, it's gonna be up to the board.
It can be modified. We can amend the charter or the articles at the state, but right now it says 7.
And was Vanetta there because of as being a representative of the council, or just?
She was just asked, she just, at that time volunteered to be on there, I think, tell you the truth.
Not because I see, she's got council members, I was thinking.
That's what my question.
I think a council person, is never going to be a bad person to have on that board.
ex officio then? I'd do 7 and I'd be the ex officio, you're okay with that? or-
Yeah, we can rotate it.
Yeah.
That can happen that way.
Yeah, every year, we'll rotate
We
every
put the
couple of years.
condition on it and change the bylaw.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Or an alternate.
Y'all agree with this council, this name, this list? Anybody we're leaving out?
And I want Tony.
Yeah, Tony,
So we've got
7
We
total.
got Marissa, David Jones, Jesus Orozco, Tricia Molinar, Lupe Herrera, Alfredo Saldana, and Tony Trujillo Jr.
Yes, ma'am. That's a
And
solid
then
board.
put a council as a non,
Ex officio.
ex officio.
Do you want to leave you as an ex officio or could Heather?
I'd rather the council do it. I mean, I don't have time for another meeting.
Heather and Hector as
Yeah.
ex
And
officio?
for
Yeah.
meetings like
Me and
this,
Conrad, I'll be Conrad and I.
yeah, I'll be there.
We'll rotate.
Okay.
And Randy's the star pitcher of the kickball.
Yeah.
He throws the ball so fast, you can read the advertisement.
I'm the MVP. You know, with this board, Thomas, that you're here, it's just for direct, it's more for innovative people coming together to bring different ideas and understanding the demographics. And I don't mean this in a bad way when I tell you this, but you've been here a year and a half. We have to understand the demographics and the place where we live. And one of the things that came to the top of my head, I'll subject here really quick, was we have a big soccer community ready to rock and roll. And that's why you're building that relationship to see if it's going to work or not, but at least we're trying, right? So just people bringing ideas to the table, and at the end of the day, it's your show.
Of course, I welcome the board. I think it's a great idea, especially what we talked about earlier with the communication. And if there's issues, it gives us a good voice and a platform that's shared among multiple people that can then help us figure out what we need to do to improve. So I welcome the board, and I'm excited to work with them.
Yep, and Tony and Tony, David, and Jesus are very well connected in the baseball community, so they'll be able to be good representation to help you out.
Awesome.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve 14 for the local government corporation board as presented with the names. I'm not going to go through all the names, I didn't catch them all, but you guys will write them down. So,
I'll second.
thank you, Hector, for that research and that getting out there.
Okay, we've got a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana to appoint, you want to name them?
Marissa Flores, David Joe Gonzalez, Lucretia Molinar, Alfredo Sedana, Lupe Herrera, Jesus Orozco, and Tony Trujillo Jr.
Now, going into this, you talked about being staggered, trying to get, you're gonna have to, some are gonna have to serve a few years more, and some are gonna have to.
Yeah, and the board, once they start meeting, they can create some bylaws that will stipulate that, and then we'll modify the articles.
Okay, so all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Okay, we'll go to item F15, discuss, consider entering into a tax abatement agreement with HP Contractors for the development of commercial property described as the entire block of Block 44, original Pecos, Charles Lino.
Mayor, Council, this is one of the items that we were asked to bring back. Last time it did not have the agreement on it. I modified the agreement per the request from Mr. Pena, and with the discussions you had, this is a proposed agreement. But Mayor, I'm going to ask you if you'll open up a public hearing first on this before we do anything.
So It is 7:30 PM. We'll open our public hearing.
And if anyone would like to speak on this, you're more than welcome to come forward.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yes, Mayor.
So we already have a 380 agreement, tax abatement account, for 5 years from, let's see my notes, that begins January 1st, 26, because it's January after it was signed.
Yes, ma'am.
This one is proposed a 10-year tax abatement, and it's supposed to begin the first year after the first anniversary of its completion.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's going to overlap some years.
Well, what this would do is this would replace the 5-year one. The 5-year one would be rescinded, and he's asking for this in place of that, not in addition to it.
Okay. I wanted to clear that.
Yes, ma'am. And the reason that we're doing it afterwards is because we want to get some tax on the books up through the construction process, so that he will pay all the taxes on until the building is completed and for a year of operations, and then he will start that agreement.
So a year of operation, I think he has 6 available office space or building space. One would constitute start getting the abatement, or does he have to have?
Well, it's based on property taxes, whether the assessed value is at the appraisal district. And it is, the way these type of agreements work is they have to go and pay the taxes, show us that they paid the taxes, and then we will rebate them. This is for the city portion only.
Well, we already have an ordinance on the books that calls for 5 years.
Right, but this will cancel.
I mean, not just
Yeah.
deal, but as a general deal, anybody coming before the council, they can see that we have a 5-year deal available.
Or 10 or 3.
Yeah, it can be anywhere up to 10 years. That's what is allowable.
At our discretion.
At your discretion.
You gotta understand that, we need to also realize that if the construction, once the construction done and all that, if we approve this, it falls into the turf zone. So the turf is gonna start taking a lot of it, like what we did with the, what was that other project we did that, it was 67% really what Mr. Lino and Mr. Dacho were paying pretty close to that. This is basically what we're doing, so we'll be making our money off of that zone, of the TRIC.
Okay, so I know I'm being,
No, you're good, Mayor.
so. this
We're
is-
done with the public hearing now. We got a closed public hearing,
Okay.
and then it's a discuss, consider item, then I can answer all the questions.
7:33, close the public hearing. Okay. So this says the agreement shall be effective with the January 1st valuation date immediately following January 1st of the year of the anniversary of first year of operations. Does that mean that everything has to be rented out, or just one unit has to be rented out?
One unit is fine,
Okay.
is when it's going to be, it has to, the building has to be complete, and they, as soon as they're given a CO, it's 1 year after that, then we'll start assessing. Yes, ma'am.
If the council chooses to approve this and have it supersede the prior agreement, I might propose at least adding a clause that specifically states as
It supersedes.
So there's no
Has
ambiguity.
to.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
reason I asked about the overlap. And I know, the first line of the whereases has chapter 380 instead of chapter 312 in that agreement.
It needs to be modified to 312. I thought I fixed all of those.
Well, there's no other questions, I make the motion that we approve this tax abatement agreement with the HP contract.
So we have to mention what you said, right? Supersedes the 380.
Which supersedes the prior 380 that was granted.
There's no magic words, but yes, I mean, if that's the intent.
I'll second it. Okay, I have a motion from Councilman Saldana, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve tax abatement agreement with HP Contractors with the caveat of the termination of the other agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed? No, they didn't let me get financials to see financials.
Randy, we have never asked them.
Never asked.
Finances.
We're not gonna start doing that.
If you start doing that and if you know something, spin it, don't hold back.
Tell me why that's going to work.
For the record, the motion carries with an opposition from Councilman Graham. Item F16, discuss, consider ordinance 25-07-03. Understand
Table.
Mr. Arona wants to table this one.
So the next meeting.
Do we need to make a motion on that?
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion to table my own.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Councilman Arona, second from Councilman Saldana to table ordinance 25-07-03. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The record show the motion carries. Item 17, update on the public comment regarding emergency manager, emergency alert system, siren locations, and drainage system. Dr. Arona.
After this recent devastating flood we had in certain areas of Texas, and Mexico's happened there also, I think we need to get the information out to the people. Of course, we've been fortunate. First year I was back in Pecos, about 10 years ago. We had a flood. I was going to Barcelona Church, got to the Pecos River because the water was right underneath the trestle, the railroad trestles. But there was a flood warning coming from the north side, coming from Toya. It never reached us, thank God. But sirens are the same, I think. There's no distinction other than length of sound. So and I've heard the state now trying to go into that as well, to have a sound that's different for different events, tornadoes, fires, whatever the case may be. The gentleman raised some very compelling issues, and I think we owe it to him and the citizens of Pecos to get this information out to them. I think Jerry Bullard is our emergency manager, right?
Yes.
For the county.
And Jerry gave me something that is going to kind of answer that I told him I'd read. He has an ESD board meeting tonight, that's why he's not here. Otherwise, he would have been here. What Jerry wrote, Wendy did a lot of work on this too, just so you all know. But what Jerry said is concerns of emergency alerting the general public in an emergency situation. The City of Pecos Sirens is a redundant internet-based or VHF radio-based system. And he says, meaning that I can set the sirens off from anywhere I have internet capabilities, or if the internet is down, I can set them off from a VHF signal. So Jerry maintains and manages, including the tests. The county, through his department, has an integrated public alert and warning system, iPause, that Jerry does. If your phone is on, he can put a range around the city or the entire county that unless you have emergency notifications turned off on your phone will go off. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're driving through here. It still picks up anybody within the proximity of the geofencing that he puts up. That is something that's working really good. He can send us any cellular device in here, an emergency alert, without having your phone number. Doesn't take that. And he says, as emergency services manager, he monitors 3 locations related to flooding. One is upstream on the Pecos River, one is in the Berea Draw, and one is at the San Solomon Springs. I don't know where those are at. They're in the county? Okay. Okay. So he is monitoring that, and he says it is his responsibility to alert people of Reeves County at the point of life and safety. So Jerry's taking that on himself. It is part of what he's paid for. I can tell you that Jerry is extremely good at calling me on all types of issues that come up. And we have a discussion, and sometimes I ask him to take care of it, and sometimes I ask some of our staff to take care of it, depending where it's at. Kelvin was going to address some of the flooding where he listed some of the roads. I don't even know
if you knew that your name was put on your bill.
I did not. I just assumed. I'm not gonna tell you this is a budgeted item. I don't think it's time for that.
Was your time budgeted?
That's right. But I am aware of the flooding in Texas. Me being a Louisiana guy, I understand the significance of that. I spoke with Charles about a drainage plan. I have contacted some of my contacts, and we are gonna start talking about a drainage plan, you know, because now you have a natural drainage, and I'm used to catch basins and, you know, all of these ditches and retention ponds and all of that good stuff. So it's very rare that we have those things. Spoken with Holly about making that a requirement moving forward whenever we're reviewing plans, so we can start planning for flooding. It's one of those things that until you actually see it, you don't really understand the significance of it. And because Texas has experienced it, now we want to start being proactive when it pertains to drainage. So we're working on something now.
Right now, I remember a kid living on Leader Street. The sports street that goes all the way down, it's Pine Street. So huge pine, and then there's a alley there's a Magnolia. Y'all may laugh, but between Pine and Magnolia, that was a swimming. It was a low-lying area. That's where the water congregated. That's where the water flowed to. Flowed to Pecos River. You know, so it was a fun time, but you know, that's the low-lying area. Magnolia Street, 7th, 5th, 6th, and then the Larry Pine Street. And like I said, you know, when we had that flood 10 years ago, or potential flood, the water's coming from Toilet on the north side of the road. You have that potential, we have that.
We do.
That 100-year deal, you could be coming up 100 years.
And I think it's important that we'll let the public know that your drainage system does work.
Yes, sir.
It does work very well. Are there some things that we can do to make it better? Absolutely. And those are the things that we're gonna look at.
Kevin, what about that drainage deal in Stafford? I've always heard that it wasn't done right.
I've heard rumors about that too, Randy, since I've been here, but so far so good. You don't have enough rain for me to really measure it. The times that you do have rain, it does drain fairly quickly, so.
That week we had quite a bit of rain, extra rain for a couple of days. It was blowing good. It did back up a little bit to the trash.
Yeah.
But if you go out when it's raining, you'll see that it's moving, and that indicates that it is draining. But of course, it never drains at the pace that we all want it to drain in, but.
Well, one thing about the emergency sirens, they're intended to be heard outdoors and to get you indoors. They're not intended to wake you up in the middle of the night. So,
Yeah,
you know,
No,
if someone doesn't have emergency alerts on their phone, we can't control that. I mean, all we can do is send the emergency alert.
We do, and we can, I think there's something that we, as a city and the county, could put that out there to where, please note that if you've silenced all of your emergency alerts, it is a pain sometimes in the middle of the night to get an alert that there's been a kidnapping or something like that, because it does wake you up. Yeah, or flooding in Ruidoso, exactly. But it can save your life. So, I mean, sometimes a little inconvenience can be
But we may need
worth
to
a
look
life.
at where the sirens are, and we may need to add some.
We've added one, we're in the process of adding one by Cyclone to make sure that it's heard down there.
That's the one, that was my first council meeting when I called out some people. That they could help us cover some of the cost.
So with the phone deal, is that kind of like an Amber Alert then?
It is, yes, sir. It's exactly like that. And you probably have got them here in town in certain things. He did a blowing dust one. That was from Jerry. So if my phone went on silent, it would have been screaming, and so would everybody else's up here. So I commend you for having your phones on silent.
Randy did.
It was an emergency.
You better bring me something to eat. But no, it's, like I said, you know, that gentleman last thing, he brought up some very valid points, much needed information needs to go out, updates that need to be done to the system, and to, like you said, let people know, thank you, that they just know that.
Yeah.
our wash downs, the flow is pretty good, pretty adequate to what we
Yeah.
have still.
And I think,
I did talk to Jerry last night at our 2x6 meeting, and we were talking about this, and he said that the railroad, where if their tracks are in danger, they're gonna be out there trying to get the water flowing, because they don't want tracks to wash out, because it costs them bunches of money to have trains down.
yes, it does.
So, and then the highway department's the same way, they don't want their bridges to wash out, so they're gonna be out there if there's gonna be, they're trying to clean out, get the water flowing anyway, so.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we do have executive session, right?
We did.
Okay, so we're gonna go to executive session under Government Code, Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, real estate, 551.074, personnel issues, 551.087, economic development, and it is 7:46 PM. open session. It is 8:58 p.m. Is there anything from executive session that we need to bring out to open session?
This one, the promotion, I don't know, we have to do
Appointment.
appointment? Do we have to vote on it?
Appointment.
Sir?
Yeah, council has to appoint the city secretary.
Okay, may I make a motion that we appoint Wendy Lujan as the new city secretary?
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham to appoint Wendy Lujan as our new city secretary. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Next meeting, you need to bring donuts.
Okay.
And Dr. Peppers.
And Dr. Pepper.
And
Shopping list, please.
Okay, so items for our next city council meeting. I've got the ROV and the charter amendment
Good,
for
just discussion
council.
on council pay.
Yeah, council compensation. Anything else for our next council meeting?
I got one, but I'll leave that. I got pictures of it.
Nothing else? Okay, we will adjourn and it's 8:59 p.m.